Hello everyone, and good to be with you today. I have been involved in technology my entire life, from when I first went to college until yesterday. So it is my life. Whether it was my 44 years at IBM or my now, 12 years, since being at IBM, it's always about technology, and it's always about change. And that's what you should be thinking about. That's the perspective and the context you should be trying to put yourself in as you listen to Parth and Vidur tell you about what SLK software is going to do, what it's going to become, what Avo automation is all about. It's clearly the context based on what Pascal talked to us about. An incredible world, all based on change, based on technology that will continue to change the face of the world. And we're all living through that in some way, shape, or manner right now. Unfortunately, the context of COVID-19, isn't the best context to actually think about, but it's certainly a learning experience for us. And we've all started to understand and appreciate technology better and to do things differently because we see the problem differently. And that's another major theme that I want you to focus on, is it's your problem, starting with your problem, your issues. And we heard that very, very boldly and thoughtfully from Jane, as she took you through her client experience. But the best way for anyone to innovate in this area of test automation or automation writ large is to start with the problem, not with the answer. And technologists, engineers, scientists, we are all so tempted to always start with the answer. It doesn't always work, to be candid with you. Some of the best innovations in the world were innovations that literally started with the problem. And that's what I like the most about Parth and Vidur. I like their thinking. I like what they're talking about. All of the experiences that I've had either in the information technology industry or in the automobile industry. I'm involved in a company that does a great deal to kind of push forward the self-driving and the automated platform idea for the electric cars of the future. So this works everywhere. Yes, it works in financial institutions, but it will work in healthcare institutions, but it'll work everywhere. Because there is so much to work on and so many problems to address. I like the inclusiveness of the thinking that Avo has, from mainframe to web presence to the Internet of Things. There is a continuum that you have to work on. There is a system level thought that you have to apply. This idea of rip and replace, it's not a good idea, my friends. It's very unproductive. Almost everything, if it were put into a systems level concept, could be improved, could be made better. It could all be taken forward. Instrumenting platforms such as Avo espouses to do, automating the test sequences such as Avo espouses to do. These are all good things. Not writing a lot of code. You start to deploy the philosophy, the culture that Avo stands for. You start to deploy that kind of thinking, you'll find that as you discover those processes, map out those processes, better understand the software that goes with those processes, instrument those platforms so that you can do a better job of maintaining them, understanding the problems, and doing root cause analysis, you'll start to find a pattern, a rhythm, and a flow, and you'll start to see what I'm talking about. There's only so many ways that you can approach certain things in the information technology world, and yet everybody wants to do it their way. And again, I'm not against progress. Don't misunderstand me. But how about a balance? And that's a word that I would like you to be using, is balance. Can't we take this forward? Can't we move this forward? Can't we instrument it to do a better job of understanding what it does, how it does, why it does? You heard a lot of that in a lot of the presentations that were already given. But it's what's in my heart. It was in my heart at IBM, and it's been in my heart for the past 12 years in all of the companies and all of the businesses, financial services, government, healthcare, auto industry, travel and transportation, that I've been affiliated with and associated with. Now is the time to kind of get a better grip on all of this and do what's right for you. Start with your problem. Start with your problem. Think about change. And not just change that, but how do you change it into what you want it to be? AVO can help you do that. And it all starts with better understanding what you're doing, how you're doing it, why you're doing it, and then instrumenting it and automating it to be able to continuously do a better and better job. So it is documentation, it is instrumentation, and it is automation. Those are the things that I truly take away that truly matter in my humble perspective and based on my experience of now, 55 years, I guess. Since I just turned 75, that's about right. So, give that some thought as you're trying to figure out, what do I do, where do I go? And the other thing you want to do is think about this as you try to figure out what your next steps are. Engage. Engage and enable. Engage and enable AVO. Give them the problem. Ask them to show you what they could do. Ask you to demo for you, or do a proof of concept, or a proof of value, whatever you call it and however you use it. Ask them to do that for you. Engage, though. Enable and engage. In this webinar, all of what you heard from all the wonderful presenters, it's all about making things better. Happy to answer any questions you might have. Wish you all the best. Be safe, be healthy, be well, and as always, be nice.